morning, everyone, and welcome back to Two Peas on the Podcast. Morgan will be with us in a moment. It is Monday. It is now May. Can y'all believe we are in the month of May already? And it's been a wild April for me. Just a quick update. I know a lot of you guys, first of all, thank you for all of you who've been constantly inboxing me and messaging me. Some who I have communicated with, some whom I have not. I shared a few weeks ago. This is now into just over 2 weeks that we lost my baby, Rocco. And this has been quite a hard experience for myself. So all the love and I actually appreciate it. I know for my TikTok peeps, specifically my older generation of TikTok peeps who actually look forward to seeing the animals every week, who's been messaging me. And I know that you guys don't read all the threads and stuff like that. So that's why I have not been gone live. Although you guys see me very visibly in the makeup community, it's a little different doing makeup because I get to sit in this room in the quiet by myself and post pictures. But I haven't been live in that world either because it's been a lot. It's been the toughest death I ever dealt with, believe it or not. I have lost my father. And I had said that, and I turned to my husband and I said, why would that be? Like, why is this, not that, other deaths haven't been horribly painful, but it's a difference with this one because it's consumed me. The absence has consumed me. And my husband made a very good point and valid point. You have people in your lives who you love. You have people in your lives that you love dearly, people who brought you into this world, But when it comes to a relationship like me and Rocco had, it was like we depended on each other for so much. He was my true protector. The loyalty up until his last breath was just on a whole nother level. Like how many people going to be dying, right? And all they thinking about is you. And how can I not let you see that I'm dying? Or how can I not make you sad that I'm dying? How can I make you have a better experience about me dying, or just loyal enough that your feelings and your emotions was more important than their pain and their suffering. We don't get that. And the fact that eyes closed, hands down, when I say he was a protector, there were so many moments in life, including the one at times I got attacked by the dog, that he was my protector. And it's really different for me. So I say to everybody, I'm being very vulnerable. I'm being very honest what I'm going through now. And I'm very honest with my husband because even he's never seen me go through like where the emotions this way has overcome my ability to stay stable. I can be fine one moment. I think I'm fine. I think I'm over it, and I'm not. So just be patient with me. I do plan to go live as soon as I possibly can. Hey, Dondi. And one of them might just be simply the next clutch number 2 is dropping any day now. And so it just might be just doing a live with just the dropping it and dropping off. But I have not felt like that I am stable enough to just go on about my normal. And I like to be, y'all know, in my lives, I like to be turned up. I have many moments today that I don't want to be turned up. Good morning, Bone Daddy Serpents. Good morning, Minnie. So I appreciate all of you guys who reached out. Yes, this is a very tough time for me. Those of you who follow me, y'all know Rocco is my everything. And I say is because I feel like he's still here sometimes. And just pray for me because it's hard. It's tough. It's definitely tough. I have never sought grief counseling for any human death. I needed to seek grief counseling for my daughter. So that tells you how much different this experience for me is. So today, though, we're going to be taking a moment to recognize, thank you, Darren, and celebrate some women that we both picked 3 special women in the community. And like I said, these women don't have any idea that they're picked. They probably, some of them might not even see, one of them may, but some of them probably not even see this video. But I know that I've met a couple of them in person, and they were amazing people to meet. One of them I admire so much because not only is she incredibly in the reptile world, not only is she magnificent in what she do with these animals, but she is magnificent in running her business and building for them. And which for me, and I've said for 2024, that's a goal. Every enclosure that's is placed in this home will be built by myself, not my husband, myself. And of course, I'm gonna have to be yelling, babe, how do I do this? But I'm going to do the work. It's something that I always said I wanted to do, especially being a person who loves the larger animals that I love so much. Of course, my first 15 enclosures, I had someone else built them and I paid for them, and we paid a lot of money for them. But through that process, one of the builders that built for my retakes showed me how easy it was. Like, it's really easy, like almost like, why are you paying me to do this? Especially when you got the tools and the equipment to do it. So that's where we are now, and I'm looking forward to that. It is Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I didn't do anything for Cinco de Mayo. I stayed home, and you know, did some things around the house, took care of the animals. I hope somebody had some fun though. Don D, you was up there in PA. So did you go downtown Philly? Hey TJ, did you go downtown Philly? Because I know Philly normally have we jumping for Cinco de Mayo. Maki, how are you feeling? So, if you guys don't know, Maki had a motorcycle accident, and anytime that someone has a motorcycle accident and walk away from it, especially without any broken limbs, and more importantly, alive, you are truly blessed. That's all I can say over and over again. And to be hit by one thing is I always say the reason why I particularly do not care for motorcycles is that there's nothing that covers the body. And when a vehicle hits you or the motorcycle, you are already at a disadvantage because you're into metal, bone to metal, muscle to metal. So I definitely count you as a blessing to be here today. If you don't yourself, I count you as a blessing. To just walk away with some scratches and scars, that's nothing compared to what it really could have been. So we thank God that He spared you for sure, because we need a little Maki in our life. In my Maki voice. Bone Daddy Serpent said, Nicole, I used to do that on the side. If you want to listen to any snakes, reach. Oh, I definitely will. Okay, thank you. I will be running into snakes for sure. I'll be running into snakes for sure. And Jordan, who built some wonderful enclosures for his big Texas, he's reached out and has been really ready and able to support as well. So I appreciate all of that because I'm gonna need it. Okay, for sure. Yeah, she's definitely blessed. Hey, Elias, did you make it back safe, or you still in Missouri? Don D said, kept my butt at home after studying for my property and casualty insurance exam for more than the past month. I took this past weekend to relax now that the exam is behind me. Awesome. Yeah, sometimes you gotta take time to step away from everything. Had my heart falling out till Greg told me she was okay. Bike accidents rarely end as well as exactly. So me and Michael actually witnessed one. We was driving back to Ohio one time, and it was this guy on a motorcycle, and I swear, zooming in out of the cars. I mean, he was driving reckless. Mikey wasn't driving reckless. Y'all know, like Mikey likes to cruise, zipping in and out. And we were going up like in the mountains in PA, right before you start to get into the Pittsburgh area. And I said to Mike, I said, you know what? People like that, that's how they kill themselves. And we get about 2 miles up the road. Same person on the motorcycle was literally on the side of the road up against the mountain, and his head was face down, but his body was turned the other way. He was gone. Okay. And I crashed the motorcycle. I had and I crashed one into a dumpster. And ever since then, I just like, oh, no, motorcycles. I mean, I should, but that was probably God. But it wasn't for me. Like the fact of hitting a dumpster and the body is so vulnerable. It wasn't for me. But I love to watch them and see them. Like I love with Memorial Day here because I'm in the fort. They from all the world to go into DC. It is just one of the best days around here. It's so live around here because it's kind of country here normally, but it's so live around that time when they have their Memorial Day parades and stuff like that. I do like watching them. I love sitting on the 1100. I just got home late last night, running to the coffee shop. Okay. Like you said, I'm in a whole lot of pain. I do have a fracture in my leg, so real bad, real rash, but the car definitely hit me. Oh, wow. Well, I mean, even still, Mikey, just a bone fracture. I say just a bone fracture because we're talking motorcycle, car hitting you. Yeah. But was the person drunk? Like, how did they do that? Like, how did they hit you? PJ said, I've seen more than my share. I learned quick that the survival rates were low. I'm sure. Like, yeah, like I said, whenever you hear that, you all automatically think the worst. So I'm so glad I didn't hear it first. I'm glad I saw the post and everything, the details all at once, because my vision would have been, just much horrible. And I don't need anything else to send me over the rock right now. So we're just glad to have Almighty still with us. So like I said, Morgan will be with us shortly, but I'm gonna go ahead and start the session. So, like I said, we wanted to highlight. I mean, we could have highlighted 5 and 5, but I, wanted to keep it brief and not hold you guys too long. Like I said, this is easier live for me because I have a co-host, but still, I don't want to be live too long. But we do want to highlight the 3 that I picked and the 3 that she picked. So he was trying to pass me on the shoulder because I was holding the lane for my club sisters to change lanes, and he decided to get on the shoulders and pass me. Wow. You sure he hit you on purpose? I moved to an area with a bunch of 55 plus communities, and after a year of seeing them hit everything, my Harley has been in the garage for 6 years. Wow. I feel you on that. Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm going to start with my first. This first one is this is a big industry person, and I definitely didn't want this to be all about big industry people because honestly, it's the people like myself and you and others who make this industry extra special with our special and unique gifts that we have with our animals as well. We just don't have platforms to speak to others. However, and when I've done top female breeders, I think about 2 years ago on Reptiles and Cocktails, this person was definitely one. But today I'm acknowledging her and I'm admiring her, not just for her contributions to the reptile community, not just because I grew up in the reptile community watching her and her husband, but I'm honoring her because as a wife, to see Lori Barcheck go about life right now with the absence of her best friend. not just her husband, her best friend. These two was side by side all the time. I've never seen, except for I think when we were in Tinley, the last time we saw Brian alive at Tinley. Um, Lori wasn't there that particular time or right by his side. Let's say that she could have been there, just wasn't by his side. But I've rarely ever seen them ever like not together, right? So to see her, knowing how hard it had to be for her to watch him transition, from the Brian that we all know and love to the man who had to say goodbye, to the woman who has to carry on his legacy in every message he gave to her. So, as a spouse, and when you see couples, go through it, and maybe your grandparents, maybe you lost a grandmother or grandfather, or great grandmother, grandfather, and you saw the one left behind, have to follow life through with the plan that person left with them, or with the something as simple as I don't want you to cry every day, something like that, for example. As hard as that may be, you don't cry every day because that person asked you not to, in their passing. These were the things that was important to them. So y'all know how much I admire the dedication of love, life, and marriage. Lori has been the epitome of a wife, but to see her gracefully from the outside looking in, because I'm sure in the inside it wasn't so graceful at moments for her, but to see her carry on her husband's legacy, watch her sit there like she always had this strength about her, this thing that was bigger than Brian about her. To me, I'm a woman, a strong woman. I am a capable woman outside of my husband. Hey babes, it's just so amazing to see her continue on with grace. And I know her mornings may be very hard and her days may be very difficult, but he's still very much alive to us through her and his children. So Lori Barczyk was my first choice today. So let's say, I did it in this order. So 3, 2, 1. So 3 was Lori Barczyk. And like I said, Morgan or myself, we see people bigger than what we know as the typical industry people. And we didn't want to just make this about, I could have made a list of all the female ball python breeders or amazing keepers, but I wanted to also highlight people who do different things, right? But I definitely wanted to highlight Lori today and just say to her, it's such a blessing in your teaching still how legacy is supposed to be laid out, and that although God's plan was to get you guys to that point of until death, that is a blessing that you loved your husband so much until death, and that you guys stood side by side with each other, even through some very difficult times, financially and in health, and y'all made it through. And I'm sure that part of his crown that he receives is how good of a husband he may have been to you. So absolutely admire you, and will always admire you for your contributions to the reptile community, but definitely admiring you today for your contributions as a wife and the epitome and the example of what that looks like. So thank you. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning. I'm so sorry. Look, I woke up late and then had to I didn't want to miss this podcast, so I was scrambling to find somebody else to pick up my kid for school.
Oh no.
But that, I'm grateful for a good night's sleep. I hate that I ever slept, so I'm sorry, but I am here, and I love this topic. It took me longer than I anticipated to find 3 people that
it's hard to narrow it down for me, like, because there are so many,
I don't follow that many, like all of like the bigger people. I've never really followed the bigger people. But And then there used to be a lot of people that I followed in the past, but I followed them for so long, I started noticing a lot of things that I really didn't like about them. Um, so yeah, it took me a little while, but I did find three people that I do look up to, and there's certain things that I look for when it comes to like meeting that criteria. Um, do you want me to share? You want me to go ahead and share the three people that I?
Oh no, so we're gonna do them one by one. So you got to share your number three.
My number three.
And,
Okay.
and then you got to tell me when you say the name. You got to make sure I pick the right picture.
Okay. How about
One of them I know who it is, so I would know.
You know who they are?
One of them, yes.
Okay. The one in the pink.
Yep, I know
is the real Khaleesi.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciated her because she will often share things that she did wrong as far as her reptiles go, like in the beginning, the mistakes that she's made and how she corrected them. She will say, like, yes, I've got this big, beautiful dragon. They're not for everybody. And that's something that I really like because she's not some woman out here being like, "Ooh, look what I got," and dressing, half naked on Instagram. And her page is really.
You can't do that with a monitor. You just can't. You can't do that with a monitor.
I don't know. I've seen some crazy stuff. But yeah, like that's something that I really like, for somebody to be able to humble themselves and say, "Hey, like, I got this thing because I thought it was really cool and I didn't really know shit about it. But and I realized these mistakes, and then to pick it up and be like, okay, and this is how I corrected it. Yes, it's really cool. Would I recommend this as a pet? Probably not to your average person. That's something that I really appreciate. And a lot of her videos, they're really educational. It's not just her like showing off. And it's hard to, pages like that are hard to come by.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of her, and because I'll be honest, I think it's definitely educational. I love her interactions with the her monitors,
Mhm.
but because I don't want to say, it's just that it's not enough that intrigues me because of what I do on this end. So
yeah, I started following her because I wanted a monitor, and I still do. But I was watching a lot of her videos on like the mistakes that she made and why she got a monitor to begin with.
But she's the reason why I didn't get a black monitor.
I don't see a whole lot of her videos now, but mainly because I have mainly snakes. It's what I'm looking up and things like that. So that's mainly what my feed consists of.
Right. So you follow her on IG. So I do see some of her. I wouldn't even follow on either IG, but I saw her first, I believe, on YouTube. And she used to do a lot of the monitor content, which that's what I enjoyed about her, was the monitor content. I'm not gonna lie. At that particular time, it wasn't a lot of females doing the larger monitor content. So at the same time, I guess I was looking for females doing the retake content. What I admire about her is she's willing to. So my monitor came socialized. So when I say that, it's like you never socialize a monitor to the extent that you socialize a snake. So you still, every time, like you see her, every time she, as close as her and that monitor is, and I would explain it to somebody, that sometimes I'll go in at alert and forget to have my gloves on. And when I do that, it causes these scratches that he don't mean no harm. He's just trying to climb up on me. So one of the things that she demonstrates is, you notice she almost always have gloves on. And that's probably, when you talk about a good tip, it's a good tip that she should give. I watched her one time, a man attacked her about, if you really had a tame monitor, then you wouldn't have to wear gloves. And her response to him was very polished, professional, um, accurate, because as women, we don't want to walk around with scratches all over our arms and stuff like that. It's not about a tame monitor. It's the fact that a monitor climbing is a monitor climbing. And unless it's a clawed monitor,
those claws are serious.
Protect your skin. I don't care what you is. Now, maybe as a man, you don't care if they scratches on your face. That girl let that monitor climb on her head. So therefore, if he was not tame, he would never be on her head, because when he gets high, if you notice, and she did, like, he doesn't, same thing with Larry, he's never going to claw here because I'm already where I want to be. But when I'm climbing, that is almost like stabbing into your skin.
Yeah, because they have to be able to propel themselves up in the only way.
And they're heavy. So it's not just a propel, it's like a pull and a grab.
Yeah.
So what I love about her is when you said about the class, like, she's a beautiful girl, but when she's dealing with that monitor, she's suited up, as she should be if she wants to protect her skin.
Yeah.
So I started following her because of the monitor. I guess I didn't know she was on IG like that, but she had stopped posting the YouTube, and that's when I stopped following her as much, because the YouTube, I felt like those videos can be longer, right, in more detail. I loved her YouTubes, and I used to love how she edited her videos on YouTube were really, really cool. So I thought that was a good choice.
Yeah, she's one of the first when I got on Instagram as like a reptile keeper. She was one of the first people that I followed. I enjoy her content though. She seems like she knows, what she's doing, and she's humble enough to own up if she's made a mistake. And she gives a lot of good tips on like keeping monitors.
I agree.
I don't have a monitor, but it seems great.
Hold on. Hopefully y'all don't hear this noise because I have to do something real fast. I just realized something. Hopefully it don't kill your ears. Bear with us. Oh, no. Okay. All right. One second. There we go. All right. So I gotta get off the phone. My next person, I kind of alluded to her earlier. First of all, I met her for the first time in Tinley, and I didn't even realize she followed me. But I am a big fan of hers. And let me just I just loaded the picture because I had forgot that one. It is Summer. And Summer actually, I think her shop is called the Shep Shop. But she is a reptile keeper. She keeps all types of reptiles. She hails out of California. She is absolutely phenomenal on the build. So if you see the builds in her shop, and she does a lot of her builds live. Oh my goodness. And she builds for large animals. She builds for small animals. She builds for insects. She builds for everything. And she does it all by herself. When I tell you I admire her, so her content, of course, keeps me engaged because I'm not a builder and I aspire to be one. But she also, I feel like, shows so many ways where things you think is complicated. She teaches you the easier way for you to do these things alone. Very articulate, very, very educated on the species that she keeps and species she doesn't keep. She also does what you talk about, Morgan, talk about mistakes that she made along the way. She talks a lot of the business side of it, operating her shop. She's very active in all parts of the community. Like, so you will see her at the reptile shows, even though, I don't know if she does a lot of breeding. I know that she breeds some of the animals for the shop, but I'm not sure if she does a lot of breeding on the side from, that. I pay attention a lot to her building videos and her, reconstructing her reptile rooms and stuff like that. But I definitely think Summer is so amazing. If you're not following her on IG, you should be following her on IG. And she's also, I follow her on TikTok. A lot of her content on TikTok I follow as well.
What's her Instagram?
It's the Shep Shop. SHAP shop on
Oh,
TikTok and on IG. Or IG it might be the reptile shop. Let me see.
you have to send it to me.
I was just watching one of her videos this morning.
I don't know. You'll have to send it to me.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it. I'll post it actually. I'll link it into this video as well. For her IG and her TikTok. But she's absolutely amazing as well. All right, Morgan, who's your next person?
The Cayman.
Oh, the Cayman. Oh, you're so funny.
Yes. So Tango the Dwarf Cayman. I think that's her Instagram name. So she doesn't show her face on any of her social media pages. So that's why. Yeah, it's on Instagram. It's Crazy Cayman Lady.
Okay. Let me see if I'm following her. I don't think so.
Yeah. So she has a different name on TikTok. But yeah, she doesn't show her face or anything like that. Which I think is like people are begging her to show her face. I wanted Dwarf Cayman. I wanted one for a long time. So I started following her years ago. And while some of her videos are not, I don't want to say like not realistic, or some of them are not like educational or things like that. Like last night she posted something where her baby Dwarf Cayman was in the bathtub with her. So I mean, I don't want to condone like doing stuff like that unless you're comfortable enough with your animal to do that. But I do appreciate a lot of her posts. I don't know. It makes me want to Dwarf Cayman even more. I wouldn't do half of the things that she does, but the love and care that she extends to her animals is very obvious in all of her posts. She takes the care of them like very, very seriously. But I wish she showed her face. I wish she showed her face at all, really. I don't know. I can see the care that she extends to her animals, and I really appreciate it. Do you follow her, Nicole?
No, I just followed her because I have no interest in caimans. Let me tell you the funny thing. I have more interest in an alligator than I do caimans.
Really? Wow.
Because so it's kind of like the Yorkie Poo and Rottweiler scenario, right? That we talk about. You're getting, and you know why I say Rottweiler, dang it, but you have a better chance, and like I'll use them too. You will get bit by Nino for sure. Rocco wouldn't have never bit you unless you did something.
Yeah.
That made him feel that he had to be that defensive. So for me, my interactions in real life with alligators in the wild, alligators seem so much more accepting of people than caimans. So when we see caimans in the wild on our excursions, it's like, oh hell no. But alligators, I've come across many that I was like, okay, I'll touch you. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not as aggressive, it seems.
But I can't have a full on alligator.
I get that. No, I totally understand that. But my thing is that for me, that's why I'm not following her, because I like the caiman is out for me. I like it's just not my like. Even watching Dre, as crazy as it the animals he have, you notice the caiman is the one animal that he just can't handle. Like it's just like so. For her to be able to do what you said, like to be able to sit in the tub with him, I don't see a problem with that. I find that incredible. When someone reaches that level of respect with an animal that they can do, like some of the stuff I do with my retics, other people would never do.
Right. Now I had some of my animals that I'll put them like on, I can do certain things with them but I wouldn't condone that with every animal. It has to be on a,
Well,
you have to
it
have a
becomes
certain
a
type
level
of
of
relationship with
respect.
that animal.
Yeah, you have
But
to
I
have.
like what Elias said. She works her ass off to tame them down, and seeing them go from defensive to chill over the years is amazing. And that's, yeah, like to be able to do what she does with her animals, they have to be calm as hell. And that it takes a shit ton of work.
Yeah,
And I respect that.
my only concern would be being in a tub with an animal. Like there's certain things I just don't want my poo poo in the water with. And lizards are one of them. Okay, because if y'all ever see what they eat and what they will come out, I don't want them in the water with me.
Yeah.
However, I won't, like Larry as an adult, I won't sit in his water, but I still walk through his water. But his water is highly filtered. His pH of his water is better than the beach water. Seriously, like it's highly filtered. But I'm not getting in the tub. I'm not, no, like he can't get in my bath water.
Yeah.
But that's just for me, that's where my cutoff is with them. Even my retics, as much as I love them, you've never seen me in the water, not like in the water with them. No, because if one of them poop or pee in that water, that is now on me.
I put mine in the water.
Right, I'll put them in the water.
With the sole purpose of getting them to pee or poop. Because it's always going to be, because when I take them to events and stuff, I don't want Antonio unleashing a massive turd on me mid-presentation. So like the day before, I'll go put him in a little baby pool in the backyard and have him like swim around for 10 minutes. And he always poops. I'm not putting him in my bathtub because I know him swimming is going to stimulate something. And I don't want that in my bathwater. But I do let them on, like, so whenever I get like newer snakes, like ones that are like super, super defensive, I've done this with my white lip.
Right, Phil.
I'll put him on the edge of the tub and just let him sit there. I'll put him on my bathroom counter and watch me get ready for the day. Instead of like interacting, I'll bring him out and just sit him somewhere so he can just watch. And it always seems to help tame them down. But no, I wouldn't put them in the water. But it was a really cute picture. It was a really cute picture.
My thing on it is where I admire people. If you can get an elephant to sit in the tub with you and swim, I'm going to be all for it. Seriously, I think that people who get animals to that level of respect, like to see, not the one that I really don't care too much about, but it's another guy. Oh my God, why is his name not coming in? He has locks, but anyway, you'll see him. One of his girl, he's actually dates one of the breeder's daughters. It's not Jalen. Anyway, he swims with tigers a lot, and these are not tigers that he he just has a way of getting them to, I'm sure somebody else tamed them down, but that takes a lot to say, okay, I'm gonna go take a swim with somebody else's tiger. Look, I don't care if it's yours, Morgan. If you tell me go ahead and swim with the tiger, I'm gonna be like, you better go get the hell out of here. I'm not swimming with the tiger. So, but for a person who raised the tiger up and the tiger now will eat at the kitchen table with him or whatever, I find that type of stuff absolutely remarkable. And I think that although it may not be my thing, it's an amazing thing. You know what I mean? If you can one day get an alligator to just come and go swimming with you, I'm watching. Like, I think that's absolutely dope. Watching when Steve Irwin's son recently went swimming with the reticulated python was a beautiful thing, and they had the video cam underwater to see how the snake was responding to him swimming with them. It was beautiful. They were literally swimming together. Amazing. Now, would I go with a random retic and go swimming? No. Would I go swimming with T'Challa? Absolutely. Would I go swimming with Mystical? Absolutely. Would I go swimming with Hefe all day long? Me and Hefe can go to the pool and chill all day, and I would be fine. But would I do the same thing with maybe Moana? No. I won't. Moana probably going to end up swimming somewhere away from me, and I ain't going to ever see her again. It's not going to be the same. So, yeah, I just find it remarkable. So who is my next person? I think. So my last person, actually had the pleasure of interviewing her before. She dates one of my all-time favorite people in the reptile hobby. The only, the only person in the reptile community who's ever walked in this house was Sean, and it is Sean's boo. I love me some Joey of the jungle, and let me just pop off about her for a minute. First of all, she works in the medical field. She is a nurse. Um, but outside of that, this beautiful girl travels the world, stay weeks on end in jungles to take care of animals that most of us would never ever get to see in a zoo, okay? Let alone work with it, treat it. And look, she's a little tiny thing. The risk that she takes to care for these animals is absolutely phenomenal. When I interviewed her, I didn't know her like that. I started following her because she was dating Sean, and I started seeing her content. I'm like, damn, she is like on a whole nother level of reptile keeping, right? But then I realized, oh, she don't keep. She travels the world. She's literally in Brazil right now, Cuba, all these different crazy places that she goes. The risk she has to take, the medicine she has to take to even get to these countries. She talks about on the one podcast I did with her a couple times that she entered into some very dangerous situations, where it could have been a life or death situation, but it does not stop her from doing what she does. So I want to give a big shout out to Joey of the Jungle.
I think I came across her page because of you
Okay.
months ago.
She is incredible. I mean, from monkeys to snakes to lizards to animals. I'm not sure what it even is. Armadillos. I didn't see the girl with everything. Okay. And
awesome. She's living everybody's dream.
Right. Like, and be able to travel the world. Now, where I find her exceptional, y'all hear me say this all the time. I love animals, but I do not want to be the person to go into the jungles of Brazil to find them. That ain't my thing. I don't want to come across. And I know that's your thing, but see, my thing in the back of my head is taipans out here. It is all kinds of stuff that can get me along the way. I'm not going to see. So to see women who do love it like that to that level, to go in, and I'm not talking about the woods. You men over here talking about you herping. This girl is not in the Everglades, okay? Right. She's over in real jungles of Costa Rica. And if you ever been to Costa Rica, I can tell you as a person who toured Costa Rica, the animals in the regular world of it is off the chain. So the jungle got to be, the monkeys are trying.
So I'm booking a trip to Costa Rica today.
You would love Costa Rica. The land of the giants you can go to. There are monkeys everywhere. There's iguanas everywhere. My husband would tell you that we stayed in a bungalow where there was one iguana that just, he just lived near my bungalow. And at that particular time, I don't want to deal with wild iguanas, so can y'all bring a little buggy to take me up to my door so I can, and they would bring a little buggy so I can just go right into my little bungalow because I ain't messing with no wild iguanas. But the dogs are protected there. So many animals in Costa Rica are protected. We did I tell my husband, we have been to many places. We have done many excursions. We have done many ATV rides around the city. Nothing was like the trip to Costa Rica when it comes to excursions. Nothing. Turks and Caicos is my all-time favorite place in the world, but you're not going to get that animal experience like you got in Costa Rica. You can go into the jungles in Costa Rica and do herping and things like that. Not the kind that my girl Joey be doing. You need a whole lot of other stuff to be able to do that. But you can definitely, we literally drove the ATVs through the jungles. You just gotta watch it for a while.
We went in Mexico, we went 2 or 3 hours inland into Mexico, out all through the jungle, and they told us, they said whenever we had our own personal vehicles to drive, they said when you get out of your vehicle, make sure your keys are in your pocket. You won't have anything on you because these monkeys out here will steal your shit.
That's how Costa Rica, you're going to see them do it. So, you get that warning in Mexico, you have to go to Costa Rica. Like, you want to see them do it. Like, the monkeys are
right. One girl in our group, like, she had a camera or something, and she was like, "Oh, this monkey stole my camera," and the tour guide was like, "That's not my problem. We told you."
Yeah. So it's like wallet, whatever. Like, and what the whole stealing thing is about, I don't know. But
they said it was a game, and so a couple of hours later, that monkey like stayed around her and basically told her. They said like they will do it because they want you to chase them.
Oh no!
And so eventually, the girl stopped trying to get her camera back, and the monkey ended up giving it back.
Oh, see, I ain't taking those chances. I was like,
and these are wild monkeys. They're not. We weren't in a zoo or anything. We came across just walking right up next to alligators and shit. That was a fun thing. Yeah, but Costa Rica sounds like it would be off the chain.
Costa Rica was definitely the best. We did anything you possibly could think of there, and we were so close to Nicaragua that we had to take 2 passports in case you got kidnapped or some shit, right? So coming back, we had to take a back road. My husband, I'm telling you, we talk about this all the time because you couldn't come back through the main road, which was already all the way up in like the mountains or whatever. And it was like a bumpy road. I swore we was about to get kidnapped and put into a slave trade or something. I couldn't even watch. I literally turned to my husband and placed my head in his chest for like 2 hours because I thought we were going to be gone. And I was like, this is the one they told us to bring the 2 passports. It was me and another man who was on the excursion wife. We was just looking at side-eye each other the whole time like, this is it, right? Then we had to get to a gas station and they made us switch buses. I knew for sure we were sold into the sex trade. But we made
That's how I felt in Mexico, though, because a lot of the places we didn't stay in the touristy area. We left, and especially going through the jungle, because there's no like clear road. We're following behind someone else, and I remember telling my husband, like, we're about to get kidnapped. Like we haven't seen anything in 2 hours. We're seeing people walk down this dirt road with buckets on their heads, and the house is made of clay. Like there's nothing out there. Like, where the fuck are we going? I was nervous as hell, but that was the best time.
Yeah. Like I say, I think for someone like herself, like it's just a tiny little thing. I love to see little girls do big things. I mean, she's a woman, but you know what I mean. Like little women to do big things. And Joey, you doing it big, sis. Like, and right. She is one of those people, like I was saying earlier, like for me to be impressed, it takes a lot because of what, you know what I'm saying, what I'm dealing with on a daily basis and stuff like that. Joey is living like my dream, with the exception of she does things that a whole lot of times I might have said in those jungles, oh, nope, I can't do that. I ain't gonna be able to do that. This is what nope. Can I do this instead? She does it all. She does it all. And I think it's so incredible that she paired up with someone like Sean, who is crazy in his own right? Who definitely takes challenges, and definitely y'all know how I felt about Sean day one. Young man living his dream, creating his dream, and constantly staying focused and making it get bigger and bigger. To see the two like just come together. So now he has to have someone like that on his side. Sean, don't be no fool. I'll beat you. That's all I'm saying. I'll beat you. Elias said, Joey is amazing. I'm so happy you introduced her to us because I've been following. She is Elias. You hear me? Bro, she is dope, right? On a whole nother level, dope. Yes, Bosa. They thought Nicaraguan people was going to come get us. No, seriously, at that particular time, apparently there was something going on where when we were in Costa Rica, like there was, I guess, a lot of kidnapping and fighting and stuff going on at that particular time. In the part where we did we went to the natural springs. It was where, like, it was right by the Nicaraguan border. And so we had to take, literally, our main passport had to stay at the hotel in the safe, and we had to take 2 copies of our passport just in case something happened, that we would have the tools that we need to get back to where we need to go. So, and it was like something we had to sign. Like it was real. It was real. But both that was before I knew you. But see, if I knew you at the particular time, I would have been like, you know what, I ain't scared of Nicaragua. I'm gonna call Bosa his Pete.
Well, we need to get rope Bosa into going on a like taking us on a trip and making sure we're all safe.
That's too funny. So let's repeat who we ran down. My top three was number three was of course Lori Barchak. Number two was Summer from the Shape Shop, and my number one was Joey of the Jungle. Y'all know Joey of the Jungle. And Morgan's was
I had done number 3 yet.
I thought you did. I'm sorry. Oh, you didn't. Duh. So I know who it is. I mean, I don't know who it is, but I know what picture.
Yes, the curly-haired keeper. Her name's Abby.
It's Abby. I know Abby.
Yes,
Abby.
She's on Facebook and Instagram. She's one of my favorite, if not like the favorite on Instagram. Though all of her posts are really lighthearted, educational. I don't think she has a mean bone in her body. She's not done anything like sketchy. She's not out here wearing like trying to show off her body parts and using her animals to do so. I see that a lot with women, and I haven't seen anything like it's so easy for me to be like, oh yeah, you're doing this for attention or da da da. I haven't seen anything negative, and I've been following her for like a year or two. I haven't seen anything negative. She's super sweet, super positive. People will come at her for various things, and it's all like really stupid. But the way she responds is so, I don't say like elegant, but she still makes it into be like a positive thing. She's really so, I like her. And then obviously like the care, all of her retakes have amazing enclosures. It seems like she has them out all day, every day. She lets them come out on their own. The relationship she has with her animals is incredible. She's my favorite person to watch on Instagram.
So again, I'm not a big Instagram watcher. If y'all not noticed that, I'm like, even for me to post on Instagram, like people have to remind me to do it. But I do watch her and follow her on YouTube. And I follow her for quite some time on YouTube.
Right. So Darren said I want to clarify, Darren said showing body parts doesn't have to be a bad thing. It doesn't. But what I see, if 90% of your posts on Instagram is you in a bikini holding a snake, being like, oh, look at my snake, knowing nobody's looking at your snake, or whatever animal it is, like those aren't the type of accounts that I really look up to. But Abby is somebody that I look up to. I really like her.
Elias, you gave away you gave away Hades. You kicked Hades out. Elias. Good morning, Stan. How are you?
Bosa said he won't go to Nicaragua with us. He said you're on your own.
You're on your own. Well, apparently the people in Costa Rica was leaving us on our own too. So we know Nicaragua is real. Bosa said I ain't going. Yeah, I do. Abby is one of my favorite females in the hobby for the same reasons that you listed. But it's so cute. I didn't even recognize, because literally I don't think I've ever seen Abby in a hat, because her hair is the giveaway.
I tried to take because she doesn't have any like pictures anywhere, so I did a screenshot of.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I love her, and I love how her partnership is with her. I don't know if it's her husband or her boyfriend, whatever, but like he's like very much in the background. So her She has a small but big voice. That's the best way to explain it. And yes, I've seen people come at her for different things, or her just express her opinions on certain topics. She's always elegant. She's always very emotionally controlled outside of like so. If you look at my YouTube, you can see when I'm pissed off. Like if something happens and I'm pissed, you can tell. Hers, you can't.
Right. She'll post in her stories like, oh, this person said this and this is how I responded. And I'm like going all for her. And she's like, no, I mean, we really just have like, God, like you are so much more like in control of yourself than I could ever be. She really is like so sweet, but she always makes it a point to educate, even when like she would have all the reason in the world to like go off. I appreciate that.
Darren said, I don't plan on leaving US for a minute. But right now, it's definitely not a good time to go to a lot of places, which is crazy, right? That's why prices are so cheap. I always say when you see certain people in the air, it's because prices are cheap. I will tell you that no place that we ever travel do we take the unaffordable route. Let's say that. Like even down to what car picks us up and all that other type of stuff. When you go to some of these countries, like Costa Rica, yes, we had our car pick us up. We knew who that driver was going to be prior to us even landing. And the same thing going back. And it's very important when you're traveling abroad. I'm not talking about just places like Jamaica. When you start to get into some of these rural, what we call remote islands in certain countries, you have to follow certain protocols, or it will be a ransom that your family can't pay. But I'm like, we're like that too. We don't like to stay on the resort. We like to see how people live. That's where you find the culture of different countries. It's all the resort, and you get a better understanding of those. The only place that I can tell you I ever been, and I would have in the middle of the night, and we literally walked in the middle of the night where I didn't even think about, wasn't concerned at all about safety, was Turks and Caicos. That was the most. And not because it's police everywhere, because that's past the point. It's a culture of you don't do shit here, because when you go to jail, you go to jail. And jail is real jail. Antigua was the same way. Jail is real jail. There ain't gonna be no visiting and classy food on Easter and all that type of stuff. They still have bread and water jails, okay? So people don't commit crimes because it ain't like bail me out tomorrow type of situation, even if it's just a loaf of bread. So I will tell you though, when it comes to excursions all around, Costa Rica was the best for me, hands down. And it's because of the animal experiences, and what you saw, as you was doing different things was incredible for sure. Yes, he needed someone who would have time for him. Oh. Yeah. So, but that was the show. Abby was definitely. We didn't know who we picked. Had Abby definitely could have been one of mine too.
I was wondering if we were gonna
but
I knew Joey. I knew that you were picking Joey. So I would have picked her. But I love this topic because it really made me. I really had to think about it. There's not a lot of people out there that I'm like, yes, like absolutely, like look up to these people. And then to make it all be women just kind of narrowed it down more too. But I love the topic, loved having to like really sit and think about it.
Yeah. Like I said, Joey's just one that I'm watching, even if she don't know I'm watching. Like I'm just always in tune with what she's doing, like I said. And it has nothing to do with like, definitely Sean is that's my fam. I love me some Sean. Everybody knows that. It's because of her. Like she is, like to see her just medicate, I laugh over here having to give a little medication I might have to give, you know what I'm saying? But to see her just grab a monkey and drop a pill down his mouth and his teeth just right there, or give a shot to some armadillo. You like just incredible, incredible.
Yeah.
It's one thing to nurse humans, to nurse animals of all different sorts around the world. That is literally like that's the dream above a dream, right?
Yeah.
But like I said, my dream was stop at the fact that I'm limited to what you're gonna get me to do. She has no limit. Like, no, I'm not going over there when y'all told me it's a Taipan. Oh, no, I'm not doing that. Joey suits up, and sometimes she's not even suited up. She's like her little hiking shorts and her little tank tops and maybe some protective boots at the most. And she's strutting up right there in the jungle, snatching them up and doing what she got to do for the cause. And I love that about her. Love that about her. Love that about her. And she's cute doing it. You know what I'm saying? She's so beautiful doing it. And I just, it's something about a woman of elegance who can still have that roughness to her, you know, that fearlessness to her. And Joey got it. So big shout out to Joey of the Jungle. Nicole, your boy is eating like a champ. Is he? You have to send me an updated picture. I don't even have no more of him left. So just I wanted to shout out everybody. So just so y'all know, I'm so proud of where I am right now in the hobby and and I had shared this with Morgan and you guys before. I had literally stepped over into I'm very strategic in everything that I do. And tying into the reptile community and the makeup community, I actually sell more snakes than I ever had. So that's why I started my website. I don't even know if I'm going to renew my morph market. It's not even necessary for me at this particular point. I might, renew it on another level once I'm at another stage. But I have been really, really blessed. And Stan, I don't even have any more of him left except for the one that I was holding back. So I would love to see him. I actually cleared out over the last 2 months 3 of the hatchling racks. 2 levels. I'm sorry, 2 levels of the hatchling rack tubs and 1 level of the retic tubs. I only have 2 available retics out of T'Challa's clutch. Period. I don't have any more other than my 2 holdbacks. I got those. I just thank everybody for all your support. And I just want to remind everybody to please, if you're in the chat, if you can go to ladytiz.com and follow my website, join it, follow. I'm going to be doing a lot of fun things there once we build the community up there. A lot of cool giveaways there once we build the community up there. I am going to start posting exclusive videos for just the people who are members of the website. So if you're not, ladytiz.com is that simple. It's going to bring the page right up and you can just become a member of the channel, of the page of the website. As you can see, I have a lot of support from the cosmetic community, and I will be tying in some giveaways there as well because, I love both. They tie into each other. I always say doing makeup is like doing morphs to me now, like putting snakes together. So yeah, thank you. Yes, support US art for sure. Thank you, Stan. And yeah, I think that we definitely. Oh, one more. Stan just reminded me. For those of you who don't know, I am doing the 60-mile cancer walk again this year. Instead of returning to California, I want to do the walk in Boston since I never did the one in Boston. And I'm going to do that one. I'm hoping to be able to see Kevin while I'm up there because it's not too far from Nerds. So the last time we stayed in Boston, we visited Kevin. So I'm hoping that he gets somewhere meet me along the run. Of the 3 days. So if you guys can definitely support, I can send you the link directly. The link is posted to my Facebook page, but Facebook blocked it for one point. I don't know what the hell they thought it was. It's the same damn walk and fundraising I have done for so many years. I have put in the appeal. I'm sure they'll just release it. I know they are very petty now. But yeah, I'll send you the link directly. And that link helps you to support me to reach the goal of $2,300 to enter the walk. So we can't walk until that $2,300 is met. Every single year I've done this, I have met that goal. I'm hoping to definitely make it again this year. And everything else, is on me and Slim. Our room and board and all of this stuff is on us. Your $2,300 go directly to Susan G. Komen. It doesn't come to me, okay? It just qualifies me to be able to walk the 60 miles to save somebody's life or help and support the families of someone who lost a loved one, because the Cancer Society also does that as well. So there you have it, y'all. Thank you so much, Bosa. And I'm gonna actually put the link to the Cancer Walk on my website page sometime today as well. And again, as far as going live, guys, when I get to that point, I'll be live. I promise. I'm hoping it's today, but it just hasn't worked out that way. I miss going live. I really do, especially with the animals. I have so many followers on that, on those lives. It's definitely a financial support, but I just don't have it in me right now. So just be patient. Yeah, just be patient with me. I'll get there. Stan, you know it. It's funny, Stan, how the world turns, right? I can recall when you and your wife supported me in the walk. And unfortunately, I had listed, there's people who are fighting, people who are living, and there's people who we no longer have. And I'm so sorry that she's on the side that we no longer have. But look, what happens is that just in her passing, it was so much awareness to cancer. So even though it may be horrible that you no longer have the love of your life with you, she left light. People rallied for her in this community, and in them doing that, everyone who didn't think that cancer can touch home, they saw how close it can touch through her. So God bless you, and for you sharing that experience. A lot of people do that. They suffer in silence, and I'm glad that you didn't. So, like I said, going through it with my sister, I know how hard it can be on the family. Even in situations where the person is no longer with us, there's financial responsibilities of left behind, of trying to save that person's life. And that's why I walk. I walk for those people. So no one has to be worrying about getting treated or dying, worrying about who's going to take care of my family or who's going to take care of my family once I get on the other side of beating this thing. That's why I do it. So when my feet hurt, I tell people all the time, people say, how in the hell can you do it? Ozzy asked me. I said, Ozzy, every time that I want to quit, I say, the worst thing could be, I could be the person getting the chemo, not the person getting the blister, okay? Give me a blister over chemo any given day. And so that is just my mindset. It's like, I'm doing it because I can. There's some woman and man right now who's treated, because men, if y'all don't know, breast cancer in men has increased over the last 5 years. There are more men walking in these walks with me who are battling and telling their story of breast cancer. So the women and men in the hospital who much rather be walking 60 miles like I can physically do, that's what keeps me motivated. When the hill gets too hard or the sun gets too hot in California, August in Boston is going to be hot. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be introduced to the walk. Sasha, which is one of the girls that I used to work with, she was my admin when I was a regional for my last company. Sasha got me to walk my very first. It was at that time. It was the Avon 39. That was before my sister even got cancer. And ironically, that same year my sister got cancer, and that's where the 60-mile walk started and continued for me. Good morning, Jeremy. But yeah, please have your loved ones check, men and women. Absolutely, men and women. But thank you guys. Again, you can follow the website, ladykiss.com. I'll share the link for the donations for Susan G. Komen to support me in the cancer walk today. And I hope to be going live soon. But just know that I appreciate all the love, all the support. It's real. My emotions are very up and down. For the people who live in the house with me, they understand. I'm really good with putting on a good face. Um, for people, because I just don't want to, but I'm also very vulnerable. If y'all notice, if you're a personal Facebook friend, you've never seen me be so vulnerable about my emotions, because I have to. Like, that's I have to right now. So it'll get better one day. I just don't see it right now. It's been definitely, when Howie passed away, by this time I was at least functional. I'm not myself yet when it comes to my baby. So been a minute since I've had time to hop in. That's okay. Totally understand. Totally understand. Enjoy life today, because yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is never promised. Absolutely. And say I love you to the people that you truly love today, because that's the same thing, Breast cancer ribbon hangs on my right rib cage. Oh, absolutely. Love it. All right, y'all. So everybody have an amazing day. Morgan, you do the same. I'll
You too.
TikTok, and we'll, be coming up with the next topic. I guess, Morgan, do you want to do this for the men? It's kind of hard. Men get on my nerves sometimes in this hobby. The probably 3 men probably right here in the chat.
You want to do men next?
Yeah. Do y'all want us to do the men? Should we do the men? It's one of look. So if we do the men, I'm gonna have to step away. I'm gonna have to say I can't choose none of my brothers, because it's gonna be all of them. But I'll say this: we'll do men in the same mindset in which we did, with no bias and just based on what they actually contribute to the community. So yeah, we'll do it there. We have to. It's going to be harder because there are more men that I'm emotionally attached to. Like I have to take Kevin off the list, so Kevin can't be on the list because y'all know he would be number one. So we're not going to do that.
Like none of the obvious.
Yeah, right. It can't be the obvious.
Yeah, but it's interesting to get some smaller accounts to,
Yeah, there you go. Not the obvious, and it can't be none of my brothers because it'll be Keys, Wiz, and Bosa. Like
we can't pick Dre.
Right. Can't be Stan, Dre, and Bosa. Y'all know Bosa gonna be in the top 3 every single time.
Right.
So yeah, we can't do that. So yeah, let's do it. We'll do it for the men. This is so much harder because y'all get on my nerves, the community. Y'all know that. Not y'all. Most of y'all. All right, y'all. We love y'all. See y'all later. And everybody have an amazing week, okay?
Yep. Have a good week.
All right. Bye-bye.